Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, Norse longboats sailing across the Baltic have made landfall on the western shores of Lithuania, and a raiding party begins its preparations to explore the rich and fertile lands as Vinchester, playing as the Vikings in green, gets ready to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the Lithuanians in red. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with scouts and pepperonis, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today? Now, the Vikings are a civilization that focuses primarily on its infantry. Starting in Feudal Age, all Viking infantry units get 20% more HP and can be upgraded to get an attack boost against cavalry, which may be bad news bears for our Lithuanian, a very cavalry-centric civilization. Now, this boost does benefit the first unique unit of the Vikings, the Berserker. This is a durable, well-armored, strong infantry unit whose health automatically regenerates at a rate of 40 HP per minute. Now, infantry units, as we know, generally move slowly on the battlefield, so to support them, give them a little bit of backup, Viking archer line units can be upgraded to get a small +1 attack boost. Now, to help afford their military endeavors, the exploration, the pillaging and looting, and overall spreading of Viking culture across the lands, the Vikings do get wheelbarrow and handcart upgrades for free, which means their economy hits the ground running in Feudal and Castle Age, and their infantry, which already come with a few nifty features I just mentioned, can be upgraded even more so that they earn gold when they kill villagers and monks. Pivoting our eye to the top right of our screen, where we've got Mr. Yo, the Lithuanian, preparing to take on the Viking horde, a civilization that focuses primarily on its heavier cavalry. Lithuanian knights, cavaliers, paladins all get a free attack boost for every single relic that's collected. Ooh, a little bit of trouble with a stubborn wild boar here, all the way up to a maximum of +4 for 4 relics that are collected. So Mr. Yo, generally one who likes to collect relics out on the map. We'll see if he puts any kind of extra special effort into doing so in this game. Now, that free +1 for every single relic up to a maximum of 4 feature does also apply to the unique unit of the Lithuanians, the latest. This is a heavy cavalry unit whose attack actually ignores enemy armor, making it one of the most dangerous units in the game. Now, to gather the relics to get the free attack boost as fast as possible, Lithuanian monasteries do work 20% faster, so you can start pumping out monks much quicker. To support their armies on the battlefield, Lithuanian spearman line units and skirmishers do move 10% faster and can be upgraded to get extra pierce armor, making their Feudal Age aggression a little bit scarier than usual, because usually it's a safe bet we're going to see some skirmishers, maybe some spearmen in the early stages of any kind of aggression between these two players. And lastly, like the Vikings, the Lithuanians also do come with a few cool features that allow them to roid up their military endeavors out on the map. If you noticed in the beginning of the game, each Lithuanian town center does provide 100 extra food, which means our Lithuanian in red started the game with 300 food compared to the 200 of his opponent, and they can be much harder to raid because they can upgrade their town centers to get +3 range, which does make them outrange a lot of mangonels in the mid stages of the game. Those are the two civilizations we have before us, both players sitting at 17 villagers a pop. Loom being got for our Lithuanian. What about our Viking? Skipping Loom for now, continuing to train villagers, which means he should be 1 villager ahead at the moment, as look at that, our Lithuanian already clicking up to Feudal Age. I'm glad I shifted back here, because 4 villagers are moving out. There's nothing really much to hunt over here. So they are moving out for a reason, and the Viking is going to discover them immediately. So whatever kind of side attack, whatever sneaky plan Mr. Yo had in mind here, Vinchester susses it out almost immediately. They didn't even have a chance to step outside the boundary of their settlement, and Vinchester already caught wind. So fantastic scouting out of our green Viking, who now sees a very kind of middle of the road barracks. Now, this map doesn't really lend itself to very many direct attacks. There's a few big forests all over the place that are kind of stopping a direct A to B line, which is why Mr. Yo is placing a barracks a little bit southwest of his base, but due east of the Viking base. By the way, let's take a look at these bases, because the players are the action is heating up pretty darn quickly. Primary gold for our Viking to the south. I would normally say not on the attack path, because the attack path is a diagonal line, but the way Mr. Yo is building his structures, and an archery range, which Vinchester, oh, if this scout was in Feudal Age, he would have seen it. The line of sight would have gone up a little bit. Oh, he's going to see it now. Okay, so he knows. Now, all of a sudden, the gold, the berries, and the secondary gold, the secondary stone are all in jeopardy here. Primary stone a little bit off to the side, not really threatened, and secondary, tertiary gold, whichever one you want to call it, is to the back, and Vinchester has seen it. And there you go. I said probably a safe bet. Not exactly the call of the century, as the villagers gang up and kill the Viking scout. Uh-oh, all of a sudden the Vikings' eyeballs have been poked out. And we'll see how he reacts. For now, he's just continuing to build militia. Right now, they're in Dark Age, so they just have the basic HP. Once he hits Feudal in 25 seconds, their HP is going to go up by 20%, but our Viking strikes back. Gets a spearman of his opponent, and it is a tower drop that Mr. Yo is attempting here. And let's see that HP jump from 40 to 48. Immediately a cool feature of the Vikings, who unfortunately, even with the high ground, do lose one of their warriors. Two of them kind of derp out, not really accomplishing much here. Vinchester trying to bust in. I don't think Mr. Yo walled this from the right side here, but he's brought along a good sizable chunk of military. I mean, it's only 5 strong, but 5 is still better than 3. And here's that skirmisher that moves at 1.06 tiles per second compared to the usual 0.96. Men-at-Arms with 54 HP, not 45. And Vinchester retreats, but in doing so loses a villager. Will he lose a second? No, the HP is too good on them. Archers are hounding these villagers as they retreat. So, first location of a tower? Lamed for now. A little bit of extra stone, which is probably not going to be on Vinchester's priority list. But the berries is a very sour thing. There's still 531 food left on these berries, which is why our Viking is expanding backwards with farms. But like I said, the Vikings get wheelbarrow immediately for free. So the loss of a little bit of food, not the end of the world. It doesn't hit their economy quite as hard as it would hit other people. Don't get me wrong, 530 food lamed is really shitty, especially since one of the biggest defense mechanisms against a tower rush is rushing your butt up to Castle Age, and Castle Age does require 800 food, so 5/8, not to get too uber specific here, are being wasted. But oh, our Viking responds. Our Viking responds. Will get 2 villagers of his opponent, but these are still just basic men-at-arms. Although that being said, 2 villager kills for 2 men-at-arms that you've had from the beginning of the game is not the bad trade that you might think it is. That is a pretty darn good trade for our Viking. Is it even worth it to look at the Lithuanian resources? Yeah, why the hell not? Primary gold secure to the back. Primary stone in the middle of nowhere, but off the beaten path. Not really on the attack path. Extra gold and stone on this side as well. Relic right here. Has Mr. Yo seen it? No, he is not. Forests in a bit of a cup shape are protecting him from any kind of aggression. Not that our Viking is in any position to put on any kind of aggression at the moment. What are we seeing here? Blacksmith and house. He's already got an archery range, which means Mr. Yo, once that blacksmith completes, is going to have the requisite structures to go up to the next stage. What he doesn't have is resources. He is Baroque. Every timber, every ounce of stone, every marble, every gold, every food, everything is being focused into the forward position. Vinchester, though, he is defending. He's got a lot more villagers with that home court advantage. I don't know if this tower is going to be as successful as Mr. Yo thinks it is. If it does manage to take out Vinchester's towers, Vinchester now isn't going to be in a bit of trouble. Now he's going to have his primary gold, 3 farms lamed. Not exactly a Teuton tower with room for 10 villagers, but in he comes. Ooh, Vinchester's entire army is skirmishers, as is Mr. Yo's. So they're going to kill each other, but kill each other slowly, and the villagers are going to be, okay, doing a decent job here. Tower's down to 20 HP, which means no more red villagers garrisoning inside, and Mr. Yo abandons ship. Oh, I didn't expect him to give up the fight that easy, but when there's a fully garrisoned tower here, just raining holy hell down on the heads of your skirmishers, he doesn't really have much of a choice. Now secondary archery range fletching being gotten for him. What is our Viking doing? Also a blacksmith in the house. Not too sure what the dealio is with the combo blacksmith house here that they're both doing. But now Mr. Yo figures, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more mobile in my annoying strategy here. Okay, I'm surprised he's kind of just moving around a lot. He could be attacking, I mean, half of Vinchester's economy here is all of a sudden under siege by these few skirmishers, a couple of lazy ones to the right. They don't want to join in on any kind of real fighting, so they're just attacking the houses. Mr. Yo teefs the secondary stone. No doubt will place I was going to say a second, but really a third tower somewhere at some point. Will he continue to try to lame the gold? Will he try to go up north and lame the stone? I think probably stone is a bigger priority now to make sure your opponent doesn't tower defend, although gold is not a bad option either. Keep your opponent away, the hell away from Castle Age. Movement speed here is, I was right, about 0.96 to 1.06. So the mobility going to our Lithuanian. What about HP? Oh, the HP is almost identical. Oh, now with a 7th skirmisher, all of a sudden our Viking takes the lead, although he is inexplicably roaming around on the low ground. That being said, he does have more firepower, more muscle here. Mr. Yo's army is at half the HP, and there are more and more Viking reinforcements. Sorry about that. I don't know. I saw the round shield. I was like, yeah, for sure, Viking. But then I remember that all of the skirmishers have round shields. Oh, that's so annoying. That is such an annoying tower. Right outside the radius of the tower up here. Mysterio walls it off, but makes the classic mistake. Classic oversight of leaving a corner piece unwalled. And now the tables have turned. It's Vinchester skirmishers who are taking tower fire. Oh, they're so cocky. They've entered into a kill zone between two towers. He does have +1 attack and range on them. Might want to invest in armor upgrades if he's going to stick around. Doesn't seem like he wants to. He's going up to 500 food. And a second tower falls for our Viking. For our Lithuanian, rather. But he's here with 16 skirmishers in a second. Holy moly. He just does not want to quit. He wants to be as annoying as freaking possible. Did the villagers go back to mining stone? Yeah, they did. Oh, man. If Vinchester saw this, I'm assuming he has not. Yeah, he hasn't seen it, of course. He would do everything in his power to get those villagers the hell out of there to make sure that they can no longer get the stone, so that the tower rush is over. But honestly, the tower rush is kind of over. Who's kidding who? Vinchester's ahead 3 villagers. His army count is down 3 or 4, but you know what? Being down 3 or 4 skirmishers versus an army of just skirmishers, not the end of the world. Monsieur does have the better upgrades, +1/+1. Vinchester continuing to jack lumber. Might want to expand to additional forests. Vinchester now pushed off of, oh no, now he's pushed off of both stones actually. The one to the right and the one to the north of his base. So Monsieur has managed, one with static defense, one with a mobile army, to lame the stone. But does our Viking care? He is 2 minutes away from Castle Age. Farming. Man, these Viking villagers, they are tough as nails. They are stubborn. They are not fearful in the face of javelin death. Eventually, you pick away at the HP of these villagers. They will die. And Monsieur retreating to the high ground, but he's got to go on the low ground to attack. Interesting wall off, by the way, which I don't know if Vinchester, if I'm making too much 4D chess where 4D chess isn't being played, but it's brilliant that the wall off is over here, because Mysterio again has to go onto the low ground to attack, and by going onto the low ground obviously gives up the high ground advantage, doing more damage, taking less damage. And Vinchester is doing an amazing job right now. He is 45 seconds away from hitting Castle Age. Mr. Yo has accomplished very little at the moment in terms of any kind of long-lasting damage. It's still 2 villager kills to 1. Vinchester has 4 more total kills. Another tower attempts to lame the gold, but because he's got to place it in a bit more of a careful position, and because his army was nowhere around, the tower is going to fall. But even if it doesn't fall, it really only lames 3 patches of gold. Our Viking says, I dare you. I dare you to fire arrows on me. I'm going to mine gold right in your face. Does so, but this is the battle of the stubborn mules here as Mr. Yo returns to the exact same location. Vinchester does see it, though. He is in castle. He's getting bodkin. Where, oh, where is the siege workshop? Nothing yet for our Viking, who is going up to crossbows. Okay. It has been 25 minutes almost of non-stop Lithuanian aggression. The tower is up. By the way, has Vinchester seen his rear gold? Is that something we... Yeah, no, we saw this already, right? I don't know if I asked. Sometimes I ask the same questions. Oh, no. Oh, no. The majority of both armies die. And all of a sudden, our Viking army has been reduced to 2. You know, you can still mine these 3 patches, right? In any event, our Viking looks like he is retreating to the back of his base as Monsieur circles. But now, again, Feudal Age skirmishers at literally half their HP. Not exactly the big threat that we think they are. Crossbows are garrisoning inside. Might want to get out those villagers. Let's take a very quick look at Mr. Yo's base because, you know, for the sake of fairness and impartiality, he's got a stable going up in the middle of nowhere using some of these stone miners to do so. Not bad at all. He's got a gold up and running, wood up and running. Everything is running perfectly for Mr. Yo at the moment. He is down 2 villagers, but in 45 seconds, he's going to have 600 stone and be in Castle Age. And he's probably going to have a lot more than 600 stone by the time he reaches Castle Age in 30 seconds. So the question is not where. Sorry, the question is not if, but where is the Lithuanian castle going to be placed and dropped? Vinchester's 7 villagers on stone is far, far behind. By the way, where the hell is the siege workshop? Using his wood for a town center. He thinks he's safe. He doesn't know what we know, that Mr. Yo has so much stone. Okay, it's a defensive castle. Vinchester gets a breath of life for just a little bit with a defensive castle for Mr. Yo. I was worried that he was going to drop a castle, maybe try to lame the stone, especially now that there's a town center. This area to the north is incredibly weak. Incredibly susceptible to laming. And if he puts a castle even here in the middle, bye-bye gold, bye-bye stone. He's not mining this gold, which basically leaves just this one. Okay, our Viking is going up to Pikeman. Does he know that there's a castle going up, that he may be facing Lechai very soon? He's definitely going to see the knight pop out. Where's Mr. Yo's monastery? There it is. Monk is being trained. Remember, everything in that Lithuanian monastery is 20% faster. Tell me he's seen the relic to the north of his base. Still has not. How many relics has he seen? 1 in the center. 1 near Vinchester's base. Oh, these are now elite skirmishers with 2 upgrades. Oh, no. Vinchester's gonna have... Ooh, that monk. That monk escaped by the skin of his bald teeth. Vinchester's gonna have elite skirmishers too, but they're down 2 armor upgrades. The monk looks like he took a lot of damage. Is hiding inside the town center. And a third... I mean, Vinchester thinks he's a lot more secure than he is. And for all intents and purposes, if Mr. Yo keeps training just skirmishers, he very much is. But we see 4 Lechai on the menu. And I'm not too sure that the Viking should be as complacent as he is right now. Especially since, look at his vision. When you have no map vision like this, it is a huge risk to double down on your economy. And there is the siege workshop. I thought it was going to be for green hitting Castle Age first. At least get rid of some of these towers. Go back to mining your primary gold. Your tertiary gold can't be that. Oh, man, he's taking so much damage. Oh, he's taking so much damage. This is very unfortunate for Vinchester. Although he is expanding. Remember, now he's got handcart. Mr. Yo doesn't even have wheelbarrow. So our Viking economy has more villagers, better upgrades. The question is, does that matter one damn bit when this unit is coming out? No bloodlines. Doesn't look like husbandry either. +1 attack, no forging tells us that Mr. Yo has already gotten 1 relic. No, he kills the bear. Kills the bear before the bear could kill the villager, although that bear wasn't going to kill the villager, probably just going to delay the construction of the outpost. So Mr. Yo, tactical decision. There it is. Mangonel popping out for our Viking, but now he's under siege. Oh, the crossbows are not going to do shit here. Oh, the Lechai, they are taking a good amount of damage. 1 falls. Oh, damn. I did not expect Mr. Yo to lose a Lechai, a Letis rather here. But let's see what's going on. The Lechai reposition. Where are they going? I'm not too sure. They're kind of retreating to the back there. Skirmishers, pikemen, crossbow, monk, mangonel for our Viking, who now realizes he's got to secure this area because Mr. Yo is going to take this other gold. You can't have 2 of your 3 gold patches lamed, and it's not even 2/3 because the primary gold is so much bigger and juicier than the other patches, with 7 patches to 4. So you have 11 of your 15 patches lamed. That is a terrible, terrible thing to have happening to you. And so Vinchester realizes that, tries to plop up a castle of his own, but Mr. Yo's almost at 600 stone. He just needs to buy more stone and he'll have enough for a castle of his own. And by the way, this castle is stuck. Arrested development. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. I know Vinchester had no real choice. He had to put that castle there, but you have to deal with this army. Now, the skirmishers are pretty much dead. Oh, the green ones are pretty much dead also. Oh, man. What is Vinchester doing with 2,000 food? What is he doing? Are we going to see some kind of light cavalry out of him? I mean, 30 light cavalry units will absolutely wreck the entire army that Mr. Yo has. They'll have a bit of a difficult time with the Lechai. But why does Vinchester have 2,000 food? Oh, he's trying to get the castle up, but there we go, Mr. Yo. You've got a battle of the dueling castles here. And like I said, once Mr. Yo secures this castle, it is going to be very difficult for Vinchester, who, by the way, luckily for him, Mr. Yo's Lechai are focusing on his castle, which is completing first. Okay, get the mangonels. Get the mangonels. What is it firing on? Oh, it's firing on the villagers. Never mind. Forget the mangonels. Don't listen to the caster. Caster doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. No, the castle's going up. And this is, oh, okay. All right. Manages to pick off. He is getting good amount of damage done on these units. And now Berserkers up petards. All right. Now it is our Viking who is down 7 villagers, but still does have handcart to the wheelbarrow of his opponent. A ram being brought forth. What is being trained out of you? 2 rams. They are moving forward. Not much to contest these rams except the Lechai and the mangonel, which is firing on the town center. What will happen? Whose castle will stand? 4,800 HP to 4,800 HP. Petard explodes. Oh, this Viking castle is in dire, dire trouble. It is half. It is actually 2,000 less HP than the opposing castle. Mangonel gets picked off, but the petards are coming out. There's 5 of them being trained. Villagers move forward. Where are they going after the mangonel? Oh, it's so close. Oh, but the villagers get it before it gets repaired. Oh, he pulled villagers, but a little bit too slow, I think. Yeah, he should have pulled those maybe 10, 15 seconds earlier. And now his rams are also getting killed. Oh, no. Oh, Vinchester's in a huge world. I was going to say a huge world of trouble. Okay. Wow. Mr. Yo just applying the pressure in all the right frickin' places. Secondary stone, lamed. Primary gold, for the most part, lamed. Now with Botkin, by the way, there's only 1 safe patch, and that can basically fit, what, 3 villagers here? So secondary stone, let's recap. Secondary stone, all the berries, well, I'm at 2/3 of the berries. Primary gold, primary stone, secondary gold, all lamed. 5 of your 6 starting resources, the berries, the gold, the stone. The only thing our Viking has left is this patch of gold. 600, 500, 1,100 gold left. Now, why the hell was he planning quick imperial? That's one of the only reasons I can explain why our Viking died with the resources he's got. I mean, I guess you could research imperial here. It's not a terrible thing to research imperial, but you needed that castle up so that you can start pumping out trebs. Vinchester, for just a brief moment, secured his base. He was pretty safe for a while until Mr. Yo plopped up this second annoying tower here and then walled it off. It looks like pretty completely now on all sides. No more corner pieces left. But for a brief moment, Vinchester had knocked down 2 towers and had pushed back the skirmishers. At that moment, he needed to scout. He needed to discover this. He needed to discover the Lechi that were about to hit him, because they came, they took down a tower, they killed. I mean, they lost one of them. He lost one of them to the tower, but he didn't scout. His vision was limited. And then you don't know what the hell to do. Then you're taking a risk either way. Because let's say you rush into military and start producing more and more skirmishers, but back home, Mysterio's full booming off of 3 town centers, maybe 4, maybe 5. You don't know because you don't have vision on the other side of the map. Then you're in trouble long term. Or you start booming your own economy like he did. You start growing it, and then you die with 3,000 resources in the bank because your opponent just did balls to the walls military. Got enough stone, just enough stone to put up a castle. He's getting even more stone. It says he's got 10 stone miners. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? They 3 of them are here, and then a whole bunch of them are going to come out. Never mind, these guys with pickaxes, they're heading down south. So he's going to plop down yet another castle. So Vinchester, without vision, without knowing what your opponent is doing, and look, I'm saying he needed vision as if it's some kind of easy thing after withstanding a Mr. Yo assault literally from the early minutes of the game. He did discover it when it was here. Before the barracks, before the house, before the archery range, before the house, before the tower. So Vinchester did have time to steal his mind, prepare, inhale, exhale, inhale the good, exhale the bad, relax, and deal with this. And he dealt with it quite well. But again, without vision, he doubled down on economy while his opponent doubled down on military. And had he doubled down on military, maybe he could have withstood this push a little bit better. I'm surprised the Siege Workshop came out as late as it did in the location where it is. I thought maybe for sure, like over here, or maybe delete one of the farms, put it over here, start getting rid of these towers, start reclaiming some of that Vikings foothold into the Lithuanian lands. But ultimately, Vinchester just didn't see what his opponent had, and look at his vision. He still doesn't know what's about to hit him. And with the loss of the castle comes the laming of literally 5 out of the 6 initial resource patches. Whereas Mysterio's vision, yeah, look at that. He sees everything. The only place Vinchester can attack him from where he wouldn't know is over here. And there's no way Vinchester's going that way, especially not with a big fat castle, 2 towers in the south, and more Lechi being pushed forward. Only 2 relics for Mysterio. So he didn't really... Did he ultimately discover this one? Yes, he did. He sent the monk north on move command. The monk moved past the relic, and eventually will go get it. The game had continued. But now the Siege Workshop, by the way, is also under fire. So the castle lames the resources, town center down, and Vinchester is just way too far behind. Now, he does have, again, 2,000 food, 1,100, 1,200 gold. He's got a whole bunch of wood left that he can take. He's going to have, but he's got to get rid of the towers. He's got to get rid of the castle. The castle, he managed to get it down to about half health. And Mysterio is so unconcerned, so calm that this castle, so sure is he that this castle is not going to sustain any more damage, that he's abandoning ship without even repairing it. When's the last time we saw a pro player leave their castle with less than half HP as it literally lights on fire? Almost never. He must be supremely confident that his opponent's about to die, and he was absolutely right. Vinchester just piece by piece got lamed, and I think he had, for a few minutes, he had an opportunity around the 30-minute mark, I think it was. He had a small opportunity to explore. Maybe some outposts would have helped, but he had an opportunity when he hit castle light years ahead of his opponent. I am surprised no Siege Workshop. He went for that second town center instead, and ultimately the siege... Without siege, you couldn't displace these 2 towers. Without these 2 towers, you couldn't get the gold, the berries. Not that he needed gold, dying with 1,200 gold, but it is what it is. Mysterio just putting on a masterclass of death by 1,000 cuts. Little by little by little, patch of resource by patch of resource. He just absolutely strangled the Viking stronghold, the Viking landfall on Lithuanian shores, and repels it, pushes him back into the sea, the Baltic Sea. 52 skirmishers do beat out 49, although Mysterio always had the better upgrades on him with the armor upgrades. Peak APM beginning, peak APM. I wonder if this 9 minutes is when he saw those villagers moving forward. Mysterio, as usual, peak APM right at the very, very beginning of the game. And look at that. Even though he was lamed out of 5 of his 6 resources, there's that Viking wheelbarrow and handcart feature. A little bit more wood, a bit more food, a bit less gold and a lot less stone, but the relic gold not really playing a role yet. Although 300, if you subtract 300 from that, it's basically half the difference. One conversion by our Viking monk out of 78 is about what, 1%? Buildings destroyed 5 to 4, but ultimately it's 5 very important buildings, being a town center, a castle, and eventually a siege workshop as well. That is exactly where this battering ram is headed. Kill count not the highest until you look at villager count, where our Lithuanian right towards the end, you can still see the bodies, the backs of the villagers as they are found, like Cersei and Jaime, underneath the rubble of their keep. And ultimately, yeah, like I said, Vinchester did the best that he could with the limited information that he had. He rolled the dice going full eco as opposed to trying to build up his military, and Mistrio used that to his advantage. Mistrio, by the way, with outposts, yeah, he sees literally everything. He sees everything that his opponent is doing. He even saw the second town center with the skirmishers at some point, and the barracks can go up as much as you want. There's no infantry in the world that is going to be able to assault this castle, not when it's surrounded by +2 attack Lechi, +1 armor. And thus, the Viking incursion, as I mentioned, is repelled by the Lithuanian Commonwealth, and the shores, the western shores of the Lithuanian Empire, are safe for yet another day as Mr. Yo, our Lithuanian in red, takes the W. But GG in a fun, very instructive, very educational matchup to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.